Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to part 2. We've gotten particularly far in the Daniel Larson story. Thus began the public sightings arc. The arc in which people film Daniel Larson doing things that are wild in public.
Dude's freaking out. Holy shit! Hey, someone get security, this guy's freaking out.
Specifically losing his mind, freaking out at restaurants, etc.
You want to search on the breed?
Okay, I'm on the phone with
Now!
you have a warrant for your arrest.
And in retrospect, I think that people doing this really contributed to his rage and fear that people were going to randomly spot him and troll him in the street or in public. This guy actually lived in hell.
He doesn't like it. Do you know this guy? He's a very famous guy.
Like, actually, seriously, imagine if you just are super paranoid and you're just being followed by a bunch of people. Like, people who are regular folk get freaked out by the internet. Imagine if you have extreme paranoia. Imagine if you're extremely paranoid and the government starts chasing you.
It's about 8:30, and look who it is, the 8 p.m. pervert. And where's this piece of shit parked? Oh, he's parked right there on 6th Avenue, right in front of my neighbor's house.
Imagine being normal and having a bunch of people trying to find you, and then imagine having some kind of mental illness to where reality is just intertwined with this delusion that you live in, and there's a constant feeling of paranoia that people are, manipulating you, because they are.
The ones that I want to focus on today are ancient Mesopotamia and ancient Texas, all right? Now, ancient Mesopotamia went back 3,500 years, okay? Ancient Texas goes back 3,000 years. Now, something that's much closer to home that happens to be in Texas is the Temple of Quantares III.
So much so that they've convinced you that you're the president of the United States.
Can I ask you a couple policy questions?
Sure.
What would you do about the current war in Ukraine right now? How would you resolve that?
I probably shouldn't say this, but I would take a nuke, okay, for nuclear power, okay.
Hardline option right there, man.
But I would do it on a country that is very small.
Oh, so you're not.
So in other words, so I wouldn't nuke, like say Russia or China, because that would start World War III, right? But I would nuke a very small country. Everybody would wonder what's going on, right? And who did it, right? But at the same time, it would be like a warning.
So it would be a covert. It would be a covert warning nuke on an independent, nothing to do with the war country, and that won't start World War III.
Because it's a small enough country.
Because they know you're not playing around.
It makes sense that all this shit happened. These people were not fans who wanted to take a quick photo with Daniel to be remembered. They were just people flying drones near him.
Please stop filming me before I call the police.
It's a funny idea, right? And I've seen those videos of the crackheads getting filmed with drones, but it's also very f***ed up and just like, I don't like that. That's gotta be, it's funny, but it's like, at what cost? I gotta be honest, dude. I saw a fucking drone flying over my house the other day, and that shit was like really low, and I'm near an airport. You can't fly drones near an airport. And there was a little drone that was flying around and shit. I was like, what the f***? I felt like a damn orc about to get blasted. To be fair though, not everyone who followed around Daniel in public was evil. Some people were indeed kind and just wanted a picture, and they wanted to, express that they're a glitter world empath and they can relate to him or help him in some way. It's good to see. I mean, there's not very much of this. In all honesty, there's not a lot of positivity that has come out of this. There's not a lot of positivity that I've ever seen in regard to anything related to Daniel Larson. It's mostly just horrible news, bad news constantly, especially during the public sightings arc. So yeah, now back to the bad people. People just saw Daniel in public as an opportunity to get a few views or a fun video. He's clouded up hardcore on TikTok, and he's a massive legend, and there's idiots like me who make videos about him. I figured it's okay to make a video now that he's in jail and he probably won't be able to see it. Dan, seen in Walmart. This is just someone walking behind him. He's got his carry-all. Oh wow, that's weird, dude. Why are you filming him in public, bro?
Ready, say it loud.
Hi, this is Daniel Larson, and you guys should buy Capita.
Bye, Capita. What's a fart party? Why did he go to a fart party? That's kind of weird. That's some lame, that's some Los Angeles shit, I guess. That's some lib shit. People also pretended that they were his security detail, which is pretty funny.
Please leave. You are not security. No, you're not. I will literally have my security press charges on you. You're not security.
They tried to spray him with a water bottle as if he was an animal. Not exactly that kind of a thing here.
Look.
I mean, I think that's felonious assault. Just attacking someone like that with a water bottle. What if there was acid in that? That's like what they did. Instead of having guns, they used that in London and stuff. So, like, that's not good. Also throwing Mountain Dew.
Daniel. How are you? Good?
I am charging for photos.
Photos?
Hey! Back away.
You like that, Daniel?
I mean, people are just assaulting him and then posting videos of it. Literally, people f***ing assaulting him. I've got to say, this is a very confusing situation because, like, you can't forgive anything. And you guys can tell I'm struggling mentally and morally here while recording this video. He's not a good guy, but, like, people made him a lot worse. And they're just torturing him and stuff. It's kind of weird. They also poured water on his head. Why would they do that? And then they scream, they giggle, and they run away like some kind of fucking idiot. I mean, why would you even do that, dude? There's even videos of him asking them to leave.
Daniel. I've asked you to leave.
Daniel.
I've asked you to leave. We're on the phone with the police.
Daniel.
I've asked you to
Come on,
leave.
Daniel. You know me.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. We're friends.
No, I don't.
Also, after this video, apparently he got his ass whooped. He gets beat up a lot. People beat him up a lot and assault him and stuff all the time. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for that whole part, but at the same time, it's just weird, dude. It's weird. It's like it's just such an interesting experiment of humanity. And they want to ban TikTok? You shitting me? Shit's interesting. And yeah, finally the ultimate, most mean pinnacle of evil thing that anyone has ever done to him in public, as far as I'm aware of, is pouring fucking fart spray on him.
Wait,
because he probably already smelled like shit. Ew, it's white and creamy. Bitch! Bitch! Oh wow, now he's hitting himself in the head. Yeah, this is not good, man. This is bad. This is bad. This dude needs serious magic help from like wizards and shit. Mental health wizards. There are countless upon countless public sightings of DL. Okay, he's famous. People whip out their phones. They get a picture of him. I mean, even regular folk know who he is. I know people in my real life who have seen him. I'll show them a picture and they're like, yeah, I know that guy. I've seen that guy before. And I'm like, are you aware of the lore? And they're like, what? What do you do for a living again? And I'm like, well, it's pretty complicated. I'm the president of the United States of America. So what is it? The cart, the chicken, the egg, the horse? Is it Daniel Larson's fault that all this happened, or is it the internet's fault? Or is it a mixture of both? I feel like it's definitely got to be a mixture of both. You can argue it either way. I mean, there's only a certain level of self-possession that someone with severe mental illnesses can possess. Use the word possess twice. This leads into the big question, man. Who the fuck's to blame? What the fuck's going on? We got all these arcs. So all these arcs get us to the same result. It's bad. It's really, really, really bad. Who is to blame? There's got to be someone to blame. Why is there so much volatility in Daniel's life? The dude is like the Drake of homeless people. There's got to be a reason. Maybe the reasons are similar. Just kidding. That was a joke. Why can't Daniel maintain any form of structure in his life? Probably because he has extremely deteriorated physical and mental health, as well as some kind of disability, intellectual disability. Nothing we have evidence of that we can point at with any certainty, of course. We know he came from a neglected home.
The Tennyson Center for Children has become one of the Rocky Mountain region's leading treatment centers for emotionally and crisis-affected children, particularly those suffering from abuse and neglect.
When I first came here, I actually was really nervous.
That's 14-year-old Danny, who came from an extremely neglectful home.
There are clips of him talking about his disability, but the specifics of it are not covered.
You know, I think people judge me because I have a disability.
Yeah.
And people think I can't. But when they find out how popular I really am, they feel sorry.
Which disability? Just to spread awareness.
Yeah.
Well, we thought it was autism.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm so smart and the more I learn I get better, right?
Yeah.
So we're thinking it was just past childhood trauma.
So they thought it was autism, but he gets smarter. There's a lot going on. I'm not a professional, and I'm not sure exactly what a professional would say in response to that sort of statement. But yeah, man. Seems like he needs a loving family and shouldn't be allowed the just kind of autonomy that people are just kind of given nowadays with phones and internet access, and there's a potential of going viral. Someone like that, it's not good. And then getting deleted, doing something f***ed up, developing obsessions over people like Grace. I mean, it's just such a fucking weird, sad story. And yeah, man, really the internet's amusement in the tormenting of this fella, this singular guy, that is, I would say a percentage of it absolutely deserved. He's a PDF. That's not good, man. That's not good. But it's just complicated, though. It's a really complicated thing. Now, let's circle back to Daniel's time at the Tennyson Center just for a moment here. This is before Daniel had his grandmother become his guardian. He was still just a kid. He came from a neglectful home. In that video, the president of the Tennyson Center talks about how many of the children that come through their doors receive things that they would have never received elsewhere. That's safety, attention, help. People like Daniel, that's what they need.
Rod Witt, the president of Tennyson Center, says the program gives children like Danny great opportunity.
Do they bring some challenges? Absolutely, they do. But, you know, they've got the opportunity to, number one, be safe. Number two, receive some attention that they've, in some cases, never received. And number three, to get help and to be themselves and to really let their own personalities come forth.
That's seriously what they need. And this is just truly the worst possible example of it just going awry. And this man, you know, his life's ruined. He doesn't have the structure out there, doesn't exist to take care of him. It is extremely sad. But a lot of people think it's super funny on the internet. Some parts of it are funny. It's just such a complicated thing. I think we can definitely agree that it's fucked up for sure. So then we go forward to the PDF arc and the whole, you know, obsessive delusions over minors. People fed into that massively. They fed into his obsessive delusions over Grace, and they convinced him that he was frequently talking to her, convinced him that he was in a relationship with her by pretending to be her. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. A girl pretended to be Olivia Vanderwall, Grace's sister, and said that they were excited to see her. People are up, dude.
Hi, Daniel.
Okay. I think this one might be fake, but we'll see. Hi.
No. I'm talking to my dad and Tina, my mom and Grace, and we're so excited to see you tomorrow. We have so many plans we're going to take you out to dinner, and we want to show you the Empire State Building. Would you want to do that with us?
Absolutely.
He believes it. And immediately he believes it. He falls for it immediately. And this is just fucked up. I mean, these people are fucked up, right? They're fucked up. This is like the lowest hanging possible PDF fruit that exists in the entire world. People would also trick and manipulate Daniel into believing that he was making great strides in his life. For example, convincing him he was the president of the United States of America.
Communication is more important now than ever before. We gotta work together. This entire war with Russia could have been prevented.
On top of that, people also convinced him that he was offered a job for the Denver Broncos to be a football player, and he turned that shit down to be a performer.
John Elway sent you a text to play for the Broncos. Is that true?
That is true, unfortunately. I think it was real, actually.
Really? Probably wasn't real, though. Probably wasn't actually real, to be honest. Trolls also convinced Daniel that he was attending classes at UCLA. There's a few clips of this, all super.
Would anybody like to volunteer for extra credit to read what is on the slideshow right now? Would anybody like to volunteer?
I would.
Okay, for sure.
Song by Ruben.
They literally have Daniel Larson doing homework.
I'm going to call on Daniel Larson. What is one thing you think of when you think of ancient Egypt? Mr. Larson?
Hear me?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you now.
Okay. I would say when it comes to Egypt, the first thing that comes to mind would be the Great Egyptian Pyramid.
Which one, Daniel? Which one? That is some high-level trolling. I've got to give it to those fellas. That's f***ed up, but it's also kind of funny because he's actually doing the work. He's doing some homework. He's learning a little bit. He's using his brain. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. And legitimately the real-life Truman Show, though. I mean, he's the real-life, not anymore, he's in jail, but, or prison, I guess. The prison arc has begun. But he's the real-life Truman. Oh, I almost forgot about the time that trolls convinced Daniel Larson that he got a full-ride celebrity scholarship at the University of Colorado Boulder. He was arrested on campus after thinking he was allowed to go there for free. Same jacket, too, as that other footage.
Copy, you can copy it was Daniel Larson.
Okay. So, we heard what their side of the story is. I want to get your side of the story.
So, there was a major miscommunication.
Okay.
A major miscommunication. He's eloquent when in cuffs. I've got to say, he is quite eloquent when in cuffs. Elegant. He's not that elegant. Trolls at the university even gave him a fucking room tour at the university and then got him arrested. This is so fucked up. This has to be illegal, right?
All right, Daniel, let's go.
Fuck that.
All right, just out this door right here. There's a shower down there, but I'm just going. Oh my God! What's up, Stu? We got Daniel Larson.
Hey, so actually, I'm gonna be moving in.
Yo, no, I was gonna just give him a little tour of our dorm if that's chill.
Got his little ice cream. He's just chilling, you know. Also, while partying with the students at Boulder, another girl convinced him that she was Grace's sister, which is fucking crazy.
This is Grace Vanderwaal's sister.
This is a Maya Swag Classic.
Right, and I'm Grace Vanderwaal's sister, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like a young Elon Musk. Peace for all.
Yeah, so maybe that makes it clear it kind of is like Troll's fault a little bit. Pretty much everything that's happened publicly from someone interacting with Daniel is at Daniel's expense, trying to make him look foolish. How can he ever trust anyone when all the people that he trusts, the people that say that they're there to help him or whatever, are just people who are there to fuck him up and just exploit him for views and stuff? I mean, you know, it's kind of a really bizarre situation. Daniel's also had an extensive list of managers, and it's probably one of my favorite things in all the lore, to be honest, is how many managers he's had. He's had like 100 managers. It's impressive how you can go through that many managers. A lot of these people just manipulated him, stole money from him, and or just messed with him. But some of them actually tried helping him out a little bit. I talked to a few of them. They seem like genuine people. And actually didn't talk to any of them at all because the people just lied and just say that they're Daniel Larson's manager all the time. Like, it's just a thing. It's a meme. So I didn't talk to any of them, actually. Yeah, kind of like Bob. These people kind of enabled a little bit of his bad behavior to an extent. Some of them people just genuinely manipulated him, took advantage of him to play into the meme. There was one guy, a manager named Flexburger, who would just take advantage of his position to get explicit videos of Daniel and then leak them online. Awesome stuff. Very, very, very high quality content here, fellas, I gotta say. Flexburger leaked the pencil incident, which is similar to the toothbrush incident from episode 1 of the Daniel Larson saga. The toothbrush incident, a deep cut for true Larsonians, in all honesty. This toothbrush video, I will explain it. It is a video in which Daniel films himself or Grace putting a toothbrush into his butt and then brushing his teeth with it. Very epic stuff. The only difference is instead of a toothbrush, it's a pencil. And he doesn't brush his teeth with it because it's a fucking pencil. Flexburger also leaked the bottle incident where, you guessed it, he put a bottle in his ass and he danced around like a chicken with a bottle in his ass. And Flexburger has a logical defense as to why, you know, this type of stuff is justified, making fun of this guy, because he's a racist pedo, PDF file. And that is absolutely 100% true. I mean, those things are true. Like, that's why it's so complicated. That's why it's such an interesting, it's the only time this has ever happened ever. It's crazy to be alive right now. Flexburger allegedly is also the one who allegedly manipulated Daniel into filming the original toothbrush video and the pencil video, and he convinced him to do it by saying it would be arousing to the people that he's obsessed with, Grace specifically. I'd say it's kind of weird to get somebody to put something in their ass, to be honest. I think that's kind of weird. If that's true, I mean, that's big weird L there. for Flexburger. Big weird Flexburger L. Another notable manager, a lot of them are not notable, is a fella named Clark, who pretended to be a lawyer for the Vanderwall family and at one point even convinced Daniel that Grace had ended her own life, I guess is the proper way to say that, which is so unbelievably f***ed up.
Hello. There's currently a celebrity of the name of Grace Vanderwall that just passed away as of 6:30 tonight. We're asking that the message gets spread. Do you think you guys could spread the message through here? Grace Vanderwall.
Isn't she from AGT?
Yes.
She died?
She just died.
Stop it.
Yeah. Currently, I was actually supposed to do a collaboration with her.
Shut up.
And she just passed away. I was like talking with her just as she died.
Shut up.
Yeah.
It better be fake news.
It's not. It's actually, I'm going to be honest, it just happened, so the news has not picked it up yet, but they will be shortly.
And Clark also is allegedly the troll responsible for the Olive Garden incident we talked about in episode 1. Try to guess what the Olive Garden incident is, guys.
You guys were back in the back printing off my nudes off of a website.
I'm performing a citizen's arrest, so the FBI is outside.
Well, Daniel was made to believe by trolls that he was meeting Grace Vanderwall and her mother at an Olive Garden, and he refused to order any food until his guests arrived.
I am dating another celebrity, okay? They have a management, they have a security team. They are already here.
Trolls would spam call the restaurant. That led him to believe that the wait staff and kitchen staff were trolls. It made him incredibly paranoid.
We have reason to believe that the documents that the manager was printing off is nude photos of me from a online troll website.
And it ended up with Daniel Larson claiming that the FBI was outside to arrest him, and he pulled the fire alarm.
Yeah, I guess
And then I got word that they leaked my location.
That's according to the Daniel Larson wiki, but how the f do you actually fact check that? I have no idea. I'm responsible for the Olive Garden incident. I don't even know. What? Ironically enough, one of Daniel's most recent managers, a fellow by the name of Dylan Clark, had a similar experience to Daniel as what Daniel is currently going through that got him into prison. It's a bit of a ironic twist. Dylan Clark called in, allegedly, he was accused of calling in some threats of terrorism to schools back in 2014, which is kind of bad. That's a bad thing to do, and he faced charges for threats for terrorism or of terrorism, and he was released for it, obviously. And this is quite literally what has transpired in Daniel's life recently, guys. Now, on to the arrests arc of the Daniel Larson story. He's been arrested a lot of times. And none of them have ever stuck. Every time I've seen him arrested, I always just hope and pray that he doesn't get let go, that he just gets thrown in some jail, gets to eat bologna sandwiches and hang out with some people who actually maybe might care for him a little bit. The warden. All right, the warden might take him under his wing, treat him as a son that he never had, it's set. But now the most recent arrest is a bit different, as Daniel is staring down the barrel of a lifetime of incarceration, which is, nothing is set in stone yet. There's no conviction. It's just not good. It's just not good. It's really bad, actually. Daniel Larson went too far. Whether or not he was pushed, it doesn't matter. The result is still the result. This happened on April 6th, 2024, during a meltdown that's become infamous for the threats of violence on police officers, police stations, the feds, and finally, his own house, the White House.
I sent the message to the feds. You don't listen to me. I will kill you too. Murder. Bomb you. White House too. Bomb you.
And then there's this. TikToker Daniel Larson charged with threatening to bomb White House. Holy f***. Will he be found guilty? It could be like 65 years in fucking prison, dude. You can't just go around saying shit like this. We have freedom of speech, but you can't just say that.
Hi, I'm Trevor Moore. Did you know that it's illegal to say I want to kill the President of the United States of America? It's illegal. It's a federal offense. It's one of the only sentences that you're not allowed to say. Now, it was okay for me to say it right then because I was just telling you that it's illegal to say I want to kill the President of the United States of America.
Yeah, it's a joke, right? It's very clearly a joke. And yes, as you might expect, April 25th, an arrest warrant was filed for Mr. Larson, detailed 7 charges that for threats that he'd made, and some extended out through 2023. So they've been keeping track of this man. On my birthday, in the state and district of Colorado, the defendant Daniel Larson, through the use of an instrument of interstate commerce, a phone, and in affecting interstate commerce, willfully made a threat and maliciously conveyed false information knowing the same to be false concerning an alleged attempt being made and to be made unlawfully to damage and destroy a building and other real and personal property by means of an explosive, namely the White House. Yeah, you can't say that, man. Daniel McDougal is the one who took him down. 1 count, 2 count, 3 count, 4 count, 5 count, 6 count, 7 count, 65 years in prison. And yeah, for a couple days, the end was in sight for the trolls of Daniel, and they went fucking hard, dude. Hard in the paint, because they had a limited time remaining to mess with him before he would be beyond their reach. Their plaything would finally be inaccessible. Circling back a little bit, August 29th of 2023 was a particularly bad day for Mr. Larson. Someone told him that Grace was out to K-word him, and he believed this and posted it on his YouTube, which is bad. He said, "I'm hitting my face." There's a lot of videos of him hitting his face as well. It's kind of like a very, very common thing for people who are just not exactly doing well in the head. They just hit themselves. They go, stupid, stupid, stupid. I do that sometimes, very rarely. This individual also told Daniel that he would be butt until he died, which is bad. And Daniel said, emergency, emergency. And yeah, Daniel took all this incredibly hard, very bad. He's had a lot of spirals. He said he wanted to end his own life multiple times, specifically that day. He also called Grace the N-word, which is bad.
This message is to Grace. Grace is a
You know, I'm not even sure how much of that we can show, to be honest, but I do not condone that, and I don't believe Grace had anything to do with it. I feel bad for Grace. Holy shit. And a couple days after the arrest warrant was filed, he was arrested on May 1st, 2024, just 9-10 days ago, whatever it is now. Judging by Daniel's videos, he's a danger to himself and others, the people around him. It is only right that he is apprehended and spends time in jail or somewhere where he can be supervised full time and we don't have to worry about him. Mental health care facility, I'm sure that's what it's gonna be. I can't imagine the system of justice would fail that poorly. He clearly needs some kind of mental, well, maybe he can't be manipulated by people, so maybe he'd be okay in prison. But I feel like definitely a mental health facility or just like a large padded room would serve Daniel extremely well, or maybe just a ball pit at like a Panera Bread or something like that. Justified or not, too, it does seem shameful to me that so many people are just completely going to get away with causing this to an extent. Like, there's a level of responsibility that people should take for the actions that he's done. Like, he's very clearly going to do what you tell him to do. You say it and then he does it. There's so many people that are just not going to face consequence from manipulating, exploiting him, abusing him, whatever it is. He's really an instrument if you think about it towards the end, regardless of whether or not he's a PDF, all that shit. It's just a bad situation all around, dude. I'm not a PDF defender. I think he should be I can't say that on YouTube. I think he should be locked up. There you go. Because of that. But obviously, we don't live in a utopian society. So it took him being manipulated for years into saying shit and making so many mistakes, and now he's finally facing 65 years jail for saying he wants to B-word the W house. People made memes of his meltdowns and shit too, which I'm gonna be honest, I didn't exactly think these were abhorrent fully. I saw some of them and I thought it was funny. And, you know, some of the stuff goes hard, but at the same time, it's very sad to see. I think both things can be true at the same time. I think it can be, you can recognize the humor in an incredibly sad, just disturbing situation while also wishing for things to go the best way that they should. I think that's possible. There are issues that need to be properly addressed in regard to the brain of Daniel Larson. Check this out.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
So what the Daniel's manager is gonna do and shit? Well, he called him from jail. He called him after his one call. He called them and let him know that they're charging him with 7 threats from the threats he made, and it's federal. Not good, man.
I went to probation yesterday, and sure enough, the feds were there, and they charged me with 7 counts of
7 counts of threats?
and Associates.
Yep, under federal court.
Holy shit. So this shit.
I guess that's Clark. I don't know. Flexburger posted it on YouTube. What a strange world this is.
My public defender also said that they were going to reach out to Greece.
Okay.
So they might reach out to you, they might reach out to Greece, but I did tell them that yes, we are engaged and they're going to try to reach out to her.
Okay.
So yeah, man. I've been watching this from the sidelines for a long time. Like I said in the first video, made a video last year, took it down immediately because Daniel Larson saw it, and I realized that, oh my God, I might contribute to this more. But at this point, he's in jail, and I feel like it's fine to talk about. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I'm glad he's locked up. He can't hurt anyone or himself. More importantly, anyone. The public is safe from the potential menace that is Daniel Larson, because the way things are going, it's just going to keep on getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And there are very few systems in place to prevent stuff like this from happening at a public level. And it's kind of the nature of our system and society. And it's like, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing really any of us can do about it, unfortunately. So let's just blame the government. The government has failed him. He's been documented for years as being an unhinged, clearly unstable individual. He also proves beyond a reasonable doubt that there are insufficient systems in place to address people specifically in crisis. He was 5150'd in California. Oh no, wait, that was the Coney guy. Daniel ever been 5150'd? He has been 5150'd a lot, and then he gets out and remains a menace, according to the internet. So
let's go in the ambulance.
Can I go in the ambulance?
Yeah. Well, I'll make you go over to get all out there so we'll get you back there.
I don't know if it's Ronald Reagan's fault or what. I don't know what's going on, dude. He's a danger, though. He's a danger. Honestly, I hope he gets 65 years in a padded room. I think that would do him well. Because it isn't just, because we showed a lot of people assaulting him. He has also assaulted people and made people incredibly uncomfortable. There's been plenty of altercations in which he's disturbed the peace.
Hey! You want a shirt? Tell him to bring it.
Okay, I'm on the phone with
Now!
You have the warrant for your arrest.
Whoa. Whoa, he went. That was cool as f. He used his wizard power. He used his wizard powers. Did you see that shit? Because I'm famous. Me, anytime anyone doesn't kneel before me, I'm like Daenerys Targaryen. I request everyone to kneel and call me their queen. It's just because I'm famous. The ice cream store is gonna kill me. Also got into an altercation after his Panera meltdown. Not good. Beating himself in the head, screaming. Assaulted this guy, assaulted Bob, he's assaulted everyone, he's assaulted his housemates, he's assaulted his... It's bad, man. It's really, 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 really bad. He's had a lot of case managers, social workers who've tried to help him. He's been arrested several times for threats of violence, and, you know, all these threats have been directed at every fucking level of law, but finally now that it's federal, it's been taken seriously. I don't want to say I'm excited, but I hope that there is an actual, thing that happens, because it is fucking astounding to me that this shit has unfolded for so long with zero intervention whatsoever. This is quite literally as close as it possibly gets to a real-life Truman Show. Daniel has been aware, though, from the very beginning, and instead of watching Mr. Burbank grow up into a functional, normal adult, funny Jim Carrey guy and then escape an island, we watch the gradual deterioration of an incredibly troubled individual's mental and physical health, to the point of spending 65 years in jail, potentially. Prison, actually. Federal prison. Anyways, it's pretty f***ed up. I'd like to know what you guys think.